Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be making some really simple and delicious almond and dark chocolate biscottis. These were everything you want in a traditional biscotti without any of the gluten. So let's get started. First, we're going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. This is a little trick I like to do just to keep the parchment paper from curling up on me. So I'm going to set that aside and start with the dry ingredients. We're going to add almond flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt. And then we're just going to give this all a really good stir to make sure everything is nice and incorporated. And of course the cinnamon, can never forget cinnamon, makes everything a million times better. So next we're going to start on the wet ingredients. So we're going to have 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then if you want a little more punch of the almond flavor, you could do a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. And then we're just going to mix this until everything is well combined, and then add our wet ingredients to our dry ingredients and simply mix those. Now, once everything is nice and incorporated, you can have fun with the inclusions that you want to add. You could add some dried cranberries, dark chocolate chips, sliced almonds, which is what I chose to do. I just kept it really simple, but you can have fun with it. Whatever flavor profile you want, go for it. You will notice the dough is a little sticky, and that is on purpose. It's going to help keep a little of the moisture as it bakes. So we want a little more moisture than a traditional cookie dough. So next we're going to begin rolling out our dough. You're going to want a little cup or bowl of water to keep your hands wet to keep the dough from sticking to your hand. And then we're simply just going to form into a log. Now you could do a larger one like this for large biscottis, or you can break it into smaller pieces and make mini biscottis, which is what I chose to do. So again, make sure your hands are nice and wet and just roll this out and form it into a log. You want about maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch of thickness, and then we're just going to place this into our oven at 375 degrees and bake for about 10 to 12 minutes. We're just par baking at this point, and biscotti, you may or may not know, means twice baked in Italian. So that's exactly what we're going to do. After our first bake, we will lower the oven to 275 degrees and let our biscottis completely cool before we start slicing. So we're going to slice these about 3/4 of an inch thick, and I'm cutting with a nice sharp bread knife or serrated knife. And then we're simply going to lay these on a baking sheet lined with a cooling rack on their sides. Now when we bake them, we're going to bake for a few minutes on one side, flip, and then bake for another few minutes on the other side to get that nice crispy texture throughout the entire biscotti. So here we go. We're going to go in on the first side for about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on your oven. We want just a light golden brown, and it will still feel moist in the center. That's okay. We're going to continue to bake it on the other side. And just remember, these are still pretty delicate at this point, so just be gentle as you're flipping your biscottis. So next we're going to go ahead and rotate these onto the other side, bake for another 5 to 7 minutes until it no longer feels moist in the center and everything is nice and firm. Once you have achieved that, go ahead and pull them out and let them cool completely. And then this is where you get to have fun. You can melt some dark chocolate with a little coconut oil. The coconut oil just gives it that nice sheen, glossy finish. And all I did was just dip these in chocolate, place them on parchment paper until they set. And if you're impatient like I am, you can go ahead and throw these in the freezer once you're done dipping in chocolate to help them set faster, which is what I chose to do because I just could not wait. So again, have fun with this. Drizzle it with some more chocolate and some sliced almonds or your cranberries, pistachios, whatever you decide. And there you have it, some delicious, super simple, minimal ingredient gluten-free biscottis that were to die for. These were amazing just in the morning with some coffee. You guys gotta try this recipe out. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye guys.